Welcome to the New Hire Safety Orientation, brought to you by the Department of Agricultural Commissioner, Weights and Measures Safety Office. The Injury and Illness Prevention Program, or IIPP, applies to all employees in the department. It is the policy of the Department of Agricultural Commissioner, Weights and Measures, to provide employees with a safe and healthful workplace. In order to achieve this goal, employees, supervisors, and managers are required to ensure that the guidelines of the Injury and Illness Prevention Program are observed at all times. Regulations can be found in Title 8 of the California Code of Regulations, Section 3203. The IIPP is a written safety plan that describes the department's efforts to provide a safe and healthy work environment. There are a few purposes of the Injury and Illness Prevention Program. It is used to identify persons with authority and responsibility for implementing the program. It provides employees with the system for access to health and safety information necessary for the safe execution of his or her job responsibilities. It provides a method for evaluating workplace hazards and conducting safety inspections routinely. And it also provides employees with general health and safety training. In California, every employer is required to provide their employees with a safe and healthful work environment. Employees are entitled to a safe work environment, access to safety programs, access to health and safety personnel, and access to Cal OSHA. The IIPP strives to achieve an accident-free workplace. In the IIPP, you will find information on responsibilities, recognition and discipline, information and exchange, safety inspections and audits, correction of safety hazards, injury and illness investigations, and training. Employees play an integral part in keeping the workplace safe and thus have additional responsibilities to their normal job duties. Employees are expected to follow safe work practices and procedures, protect themselves from recognized and uncontrolled hazards, immediately report accidents, safety deficiencies, or near misses to their supervisor, and also identify and correct any known hazards. In addition, employees should refrain from performing tasks that require specialized training. Employees should also never try to remove, displace, damage, or interfere with any safeguard, method, or process adopted for the protection of any employees. Actions deemed detrimental to safety and health, such as failure to follow safe work practices or report injuries and/or accidents, may result in progressive discipline by the department. Safety is everyone's responsibility. Employers themselves also have responsibilities. These responsibilities include maintaining and reviewing safety and health records, initiating, developing, and reviewing safety programs and policies, and reporting serious employee accidents to Cal OSHA. Title 8 of CCR Section 5110 states that ergonomics is the science of fitting the task to the worker and not the worker to the task. Cumulative trauma disorder and repetitive motion injury risk factors get magnified due to poor design of the workspace. If we use our bodies in ways that use poor body mechanics, then we are more likely to get injured. Please take a few moments and review the example on the screen. As seen in the image, a proper lifting technique can help prevent back injuries. Always remember to use proper lifting techniques. Avoid lifting and bending over when possible. Place objects up off the floor, use team assist, and use carts or dollies to move heavier objects. Always be aware of posture and positioning. Good posture and positioning will help further prevent injury. Some good lifting rules are as follows. 1. Get as close as possible to the object. 2. Tighten your stomach muscles. 3. Keep the natural curvature of your back. 4. Lift with your legs. And 5. Don't twist at the waist, pivot instead. Slips, trips, and falls. The intent of slip, trip, and fall prevention is to inform employees of proper precautions to prevent fall injuries, to minimize injury or death associated from slip, trip, and fall related incidents. Employees who may be exposed to fall hazards will receive training on the hazards to be aware of and precautions to take to prevent slip, trip, and fall injuries. Please review the photos of hazardous conditions on the screen. County driving. The Department of Agricultural Commissioner Weights and Measures has a driver safety program that includes employees that drive county vehicles and employees that drive their own vehicles to conduct county business, also known as a mileage permittee. Vehicle incidents and accidents are reviewed by the Department's Safety Committee. The Safety Committee meets on a monthly basis and consists of the Department's deputies and the safety officer. Safety programs. The Department of Agricultural Commissioner Weights and Measures also partakes in different types of safety programs and have different precautions as well as resources depending on an employee's job duties. With the heat illness program, employees who work outdoors or who work in other environments where environmental risk factors for heat illness are present are at risk for developing heat illnesses if they do not protect themselves properly. All heat-related illnesses are preventable. Cal-OSHA requires employers in California to train workers regarding the hazards of working in heat and heat-related illnesses. The objective is to reduce the potential for heat illness by making employees aware of heat illness, ways to prevent illness, and actions to take if symptoms occur. With the Hearing Conservation Program, Title 8 in California Code of Regulations Section 5095 to 5100 states that there must be a control of noise exposure. Exposure to excessive noise in the workplace can cause permanent hearing loss, so the department attempts to control noise exposure in its facilities. Certain operations and workstations may expose staff to significant noise levels. Therefore, some employees may be placed in the Hearing Conservation Program, where they will receive annual hearing tests. The Hearing Conservation Program has been established to help ensure that employees of the department do not suffer health effects from exposure to excessive noise while at work. The Hazard Communication Program is the policy of ACWM to ensure employees understand and are aware of health hazards to the materials to which they may be exposed. The intent of the Hazard Communication Program is to inform employees through written, material, and training programs of proper precautions for handling hazardous material and health hazards associated with the use or mixture of the material employees may work with. Supervisors or managers shall ensure that labels or other forms of markings are legible and displayed on the container. Labels should not be removed or defaced from chemical containers or packaging. Employees also receive information concerning necessary personal protective equipment, or PPE, emergency procedures for spills or exposure, and other safety precautions necessary to prevent or minimize exposure to hazardous materials. The Safety Data Sheets, or SDS, is specific to the product or chemical described and are available electronically on the department's intranet. SDSs are sorted by division or section where chemicals and products are used. You can refer to SDS for appropriate precautions and procedures on storage, handling, and personal protective equipment to use when handling a specific chemical. In case of an emergency, ACWM has an emergency response plan to follow where you can utilize the resources to keep your coworkers as well as yourself as safe as possible. Each county vehicle and office has a fire extinguisher to be used in case of a fire. To operate the extinguisher, use the PASS method. First, pull the pin, aim the fire extinguisher, squeeze the trigger, and then sweep the extinguisher from side to side, covering the fire with the spray. For first aid, all county vehicles and field offices have first aid kits available. Employees should notify their supervisor or safety officer whenever first aid kit supplies need to be refilled. If an emergency prompts an evacuation, you will need to follow the evacuation procedure and exit the building to the pre-designated assembly area. You will then wait for instructions from a supervisor or the safety officer before going back into the building. In the case of a minor spill is one that does not spread rapidly and does not endanger people, property, or the environment except by direct contact. If you are working with chemicals and a spill happens, make sure to notify a supervisor immediately and use a spill kit to clean up the spill if needed. You can review the safety data sheet for cleanup instructions and appropriate protective equipment required. After cleanup, all materials, including paper towels used in the cleanup, must be disposed of as hazardous waste. You should notify your supervisor or safety officer if hazardous waste disposal and pickup is required. Reporting vehicle incidents and injuries. Employees must inform their supervisors of work-related injuries or illnesses, and supervisors must inform a return-to-work coordinator and the safety officer of any serious injury or illness immediately. Serious injury or illness means any injury or illness occurring in the workplace or in connection with any employment which involves hospitalization, permanent disfigurement, or death of an employee. Please notify your supervisor immediately following a vehicle incident or accident, or if you have injured yourself, no matter how minor. If you have any questions or concerns about the Injury and Illness Prevention Program, please feel free to contact any of the following staff. We would like to thank you for completing the new hire safety orientation, and we wish you all the best in working here at the Department of Agricultural Commissioner, Weights and Measures.